Welcome back to my series on Transport Fever 2. We're looking towards the south here, where we've done a lot of upgrades recently, improvements on lines, trains, trucks, general city improvements, and I'm really curious to see sort of where this area stands at the moment. This is probably my favorite part of the game where I get to tinker around a little, get lines just right, do my final upgrades of vehicles, just get the timing right in places, fiddle around with signaling, line rates, things like that. But today's episode, I think I really need to focus on just, well, in general, just look at what's happening in the area. So I am up high here, so I can have a look at planes because we did adjust the Alsager Airport, the Alsager to Bolton airline, passenger airline. And by clicking on that filter, I should see planes. There's one there actually, coming in on the left-hand side. It's very small, but the airline is a lot quieter now with only 10 or I think it was 10 planes. It was 8 and we bumped it up to 10, I believe. We can confirm that quite easily by checking in on the airport and asking it 12 vehicles. I might have popped an extra 2 vehicles on there to make 12 actually. And financially, she's humming along just great. I am expecting it to do better in the future than what it was in the past. So, it has picked up a little from that graph. And I don't see any planes circling. So, way back at the episode that I did of Airport Fever, we worked out that the airports don't like much more than 12. If you remember, I had like 21 planes on a single airport, and it just created absolute chaos. So this airline is running really smooth. There's no plane circling. There's no queues. Uh, yeah, there's no planes that are messed up here. So that's an excellent. I like that. Okay, and then I also wanted to look at the stations and see if there's anything big that jumps out. And so I just noticed the iron on the left hand side just popped up, which that size is 500. And it just popped back down again because it's been picked up. So because my trains can carry, you know, 500 goods, a large icon like the grain icon in the middle there doesn't actually necessarily mean a build-up of goods anymore. All that means is the train hasn't arrived yet. So there isn't anything that's sort of like jumping out at me at all other than that. And the passengers, I would say airport passengers, which we know was at 1,000. And when I deleted the airport, it did reduce, like it combined. Most of the people that were sitting there waiting for the Woodham plane moved across and jumped on to the queue for the Bolton plane, which is like the next city along. So that kind of made sense. And it looks like we still have a build-up of passengers waiting to go to the airport, maybe. So I think I'll check those out, but I might just, I'll switch that off again for a second. And I think, well, we know the goods are not building up. Like this train is just obviously emptied here. Um, so I'm not really interested in looking at a build-up of goods now. I'm kind of interested in a build-up of vehicles. Like we've got trucks stacked down here, and I haven't visited these guys for a while. I think I just upgraded the trucks to to the Scanias, which would mean they can carry 52, and they can. So that means just in an upgrade, now we just have a stacking of trucks because they can carry more goods when I last upgraded these. So I think what I'll do is I'll just simply sell some of these. You'll also notice from the road vehicle numbers, I think I've got something like 700. Well, this road vehicle is 730. We'll get rid of him because we've got another truck coming in. So we've got a truck waiting. So when this guy pulls out, he will load up, and we got another one coming in. So, like, oh, and these trucks are 100, so they carry more, they travel faster, which is why we've got the 100-kilometer road in. So they do 100 Ks. So they carry more, they deliver faster, and they deliver into here. And they unload twice, they load and unload twice as fast as what, say, the Volvos and the MAN trucks did. So if we jump across here, this is our grain line, and we don't have a train sitting waiting, do we? We do. He's come down to this second stop, and I think he waits. Yeah, I think this is a 50-50 train. And what I mean by a 50-50 train is if we look at the line orders, yeah, his first stop. Oh, we just got a new we got a new airplane and some more ships, tugboats, fuel tugboats and standard goods tugboats. Now that's a modded hopper car, a hopper that oh, what is that? That's interesting. An electric train. Okay. Grain picks up 50% at the first stop, 100% at the second stop. So this is a 50-50 train. And what he's got one more car to load up. But this is a huge train. This is 740 goods. He's not making much money at the moment. So that's another thing I might glance at, just see who's making money. But you might find that he's borderline when the maintenance is up, he's losing money. And every now and then he gets a double delivery, which means he makes a lot of money on that one. It's borderline. It's good when I'm not paying double maintenance. I would say that all of those high red numbers are double maintenance plus 50% maintenance. Um, Otherwise, he's breaking even. We've got, I would say, an extra truck here. Vehicle number 725. Because we got one coming in and we got one waiting. So, oh, these are 52. Yeah, 52 capacity is the Scania. And then he's waiting for iron. And he's in the profit, which is kind of nice. He does like a reverse trip with stone and grain comes into here. So he operates in both directions. So he's fine. We upgraded this line recently. There is a little bit of a build-up of goods here, but I would not say that that is a lot. Goods-wise, what have we got? 450. But a goods train's about to pull in, and it's going to pick up like 400. Is it 420? In total, I think it picks up. So it's bringing a little bit of tools down here and a little bit of machine parts. They're both, I don't think they're high demands, both of them. Machine parts is low, tool parts is medium. Oh, sorry, tools is medium, machine parts is low demand. So it doesn't have to carry a lot of that. And yeah, I think this is something like 420 total capacity. Um, 240 and 60 is that's only 300. It's only 300 capacity. Oh, yes, these are these three. These are shorter trains. If, okay, 400-meter trains for goods are 300. So, I mean, maybe we might need another one on there in the future, but it's not overfilling. We've had our oil drop off just recently, so we got 200 sitting there, and all these trucks are coming back to pick up the oil. We don't have like a whole heap of trucks sitting here waiting. We got fuel trucks waiting, but they're basically here for when the fuel comes in. I mean, I've got what 150 capacity for fuel with 3 trucks. They're not in anyone else's way. They have their own entry point for that purpose. And here comes another goods train as we speak. So that's going to deal with the rest of that. Um, there should be a fuel train coming down here shortly. Um, okay, so we have a build up of stone and grain, but that train, as we discussed earlier, can carry 500, and there's 600 here. So that's not like a huge amount for this train to carry, but it probably exceeds what this train can carry. 600. Well, not really. It can carry 600, so there's 600 there. Is there a second train on this line? Yes, there is. Where are you? You should be. Oh, you're unloading. Yeah. So we got one unloading here. Great. Strange that. Oh, train number 6 or train number 5 is that one. Train number 22 just unloaded. Yeah, and it goes back to break even. Nice. Um, yeah, and so they bring the iron in for the steel. Here's our fuel train, and there's 200 with a 400 capacity. It's bringing 200 fuel in. I had 3 trucks sitting there, so it'll pick up like 150 of that immediately. So no problem there. He's going to fill up with goods here. He's going to drop off his plastic. He's going to fill back up with however much plastic he drops off. He picks up that much in goods. Well, look at that, almost all of it. He's going to pick up everything here on this platform with 600. What's here now? 650. Not bad, not bad. We got coal coming in. We got oil coming, crude coming back. No, sorry, oil coming down. And that's running well. We shouldn't have any build-up of coal or stone at this one. We do have a train that's about to stop. Stop, 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 stop. Coal train's just pulled out. So he's got the stop. Is he going to roll through? No, he's actually going to. Oh, he rolls through at 15. And that's all because of that signal there. All right? That's what it's designed as. It's designed as even as an extreme version like that's about the most extreme I've seen it. He came all the way down to 15, and now he'll just crawl through here nice and slow, and he'll run up behind the coal train. We've seen that we've seen that a few times. That one was pretty full on. I thought he was actually going to come to a stop. And we're around here to Kendall. Now, this has always been one of the busiest places on the map, and it's doing just fine. I mean, there's no serious build-up of anything here. Oh, I did make a change here. Let me show you the change I made. So, this goods train here used to come in on this side here. But now it can choose either. I've made some changes to this, um, these switches here. And so if I show you the lines, you've got the fuel line that brings fuel down and then picks up the crude. But there's only one train on this line. And so he drops in every now and then. All right. Every now and then he drops in to pick up his fuel. Now, if he has to stop and wait here, it's not the end of the world because he can catch. He normally sits there and waits a minute for his crude. But I was getting trains stacking here on the planks and tools line, and now I've actually got them flowing a lot better. We've got the weird crossover at the moment, um, but they still can stack on the crossover, but the trains can come in here and access both platforms when they need to, when the oil train's not around. So that's working. Well, it seems to be working all right. It's not really interfering with the fuel train. As you can see, the fuel train. Well, hold on a minute. This is kind of weird. Maybe I've made a mistake here. What's going on here? I have made a mistake. Why are they only coming in on the left? Okay, maybe I messed this up. Let's check that out. No, look at that. Well, what's their primary? Their primary should be platform 2. So we're at Kendal Cargo. The primary is platform 2. The extra is platform 1. But for some reason, they're pulling in on 1 as the primary. Because I just saw him pull in. Well, you guys would have noticed that too, right? They both pulled in on the left-hand side here. And now we've got another one coming through. So he should come straight in because he's already passed the signal. So he's coming straight in, right? And this is what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to stack, and if the crude train had to wait a minute, then so be it. Not a big deal. But I prefer the crude train to stack instead of the goods trains. So he's bringing fuel down, and almost a full load of fuel, which is kind of cool. And he'll now leave, and then the fuel train will come in, and he'll drop 400 fuel. Now, a lot of it comes down onto this platform here, and the rest of it goes into Kendal, because Kendal is a primary fuel. Everything up this end of the map is fuel. So Kendal demands a lot of fuel, and we don't come even close to meeting that. Well, yeah, 688, and we're at 40%. So, 40% bonus, very low. There's just not enough fuel on the map. There's only 3 fuel refineries on the map, and and there are more than 3 cities that have it as a primary, and all 3 of those cities that have it as a prime, or more than 3, demand way more than the 400 that a oil refinery normally produces. We're producing double to try and meet these fuel demands in particular. I don't have a problem really meeting the other demands that are there. I can meet all of those other demands. I have a little bit of trouble with machine parts and consumer goods because there's sort of a limit on the steel that's on the map. I do struggle with the amount of steel that's on the map as well. Okay, so he's picking up all of the crude. maybe he'll leave a little tiny bit because he had to wait. Because he had to wait, there's a little bit extra there. But next time, if he doesn't have to wait, if he just comes straight in, then he's straight back out again. So it works quite well, I think. I found it strange that the trains were not pulling in on this side. But okay, and then if we work backwards down this way, this is where the grain was. But let me just check in here. Do we have trucks stacking here? Well, we have one stacking. I like one stacking. That's fine. And it's a 52 capacity, which means it's a Scania. Now we have excess excess overflow here. Yes, more than 500. Well, when a train comes in, it is picking up there and then it picks up here. Now, do I have something weird going on with this line where it's picking up 50-50? Because sometimes that goes kind of wrong. So that's the first stop. Yeah, 50-50. So, and then it waits here for 100%. So I don't know how the game messes this up, right? If you said fill a train up half here and then fill up the other half of the train here, right? Now, at the moment, it's out of whack totally. It's just totally misaligned, totally. Because he's going to instantly fill up with half and then come here and then wait for too long, right? So if you if you do the 50-50, when you initiate the 50-50, you kind of have to be at 50-50. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the line to not do 50-50, all right? And we've got to get in there right now and tell it to go 100. And we're in time, I believe. So we want this train to fill up totally. It won't empty the platform because it can carry almost 500. But it'll take a really good chunk of that 700. And it leaves 300 on the platform. Now, it's not going to... Yeah, you can leave, buddy. You can leave. You got a green light there. That's heavy, right? Isn't it? It's a really hard load to get going on. And, oh, this train is not... It, it was handling the... When I first made the train upgrades here, it could handle this capacity no problem. It was actually coming back with some of the cars empty, which is why I put it on I turned it on to this 50-50 setting. Well, I must have turned it on just at a bad setup time, because it's only got the one engine. This train could go faster. It could make the delivery quicker, which would mean it could get back quicker to deliver more. So while the train is full, I can say that it actually has more capacity in speed. So it's picking up from two farms, which means we've got a rate of 1465. Well, I don't know. How does that make sense? It's 400 and 400 is 800. It's got a rate of 1465, but its rate needs to be. Is it more? It's more than two farms, isn't it? This is this is going into here, obviously, right? And this one, so that's 800. And then this one is being delivered into this truck stop here by these grain trucks doing 100. Are they doing 100? No, you're slowing down for the corner there, mate, are you? That's interesting. So the tightness of your turns on your highway makes a difference to your truck speeds. That makes sense, just like your railroad tracks, I guess. Yeah, and there he goes. He's accelerating down the straight. Didn't even know that. I guess I know that when they make a turn onto a road, yeah, that makes sense that they slow down. Well, we got a set of lights out here in the middle of a farm. Do you see that? What are you doing, Sims? Like, okay, we go to roads, we go to tools, we go to lights, and we say no, thank you. That's crazy. Oh, I had that set of lights in so when the farmer comes out on the main road, he doesn't get destroyed by these trucks. Here comes the farmer now with his tanker truck. There he goes. Do we have stacking? We have one stacking. I love one truck stacking. That's perfect. Do we have other trucks coming down here? No, because this one, do we have truck stacking here? We do. Now this one goes down to here. So let's have a look at you. Yeah, we've got road vehicle number 19. That's one of my. Oh, this is actually, this is a very early. It's not my first, because I deleted the truck line that was for the original starting farm. I actually had a truck line that drove over to here. That was a truck line there, my very first truck line. But one of my early truck lines was this one, and it didn't go down to there, I don't think. I think it drove all the way across here into here and then delivered food in the town and then came down here. So we've got road vehicle number 3 sitting here. That's kind of crazy, right? On a map that's got seven road vehicle number 704. We'll sell road vehicle 704 and we'll keep vehicle 3 and 19 and 705. Sure. Oh, we could sell number 705 as well. We got 2 trucks stacking. Will that be? What if we look at the rate? The rate's got to be what? Um, the rate is 328, but it should be 400. So it's we've got to deliver 400 grain here, and it's saying I'm only delivering 328. But the game struggles with it sometimes. Honestly, I mean, I'm delivering more than 328. I'm delivering all 400, aren't I? This is producing 400. The 400 goes there. The trucks take it down. The trucks are waiting, so I know sometimes you cannot believe what the game tells you on the rate. Sometimes. And we've got a truck coming in. So, okay, so here comes my train again, the second one. So he's almost emptied there and he's not going to be able to pick up here. So what we want is when the next train comes through, he'll have space. He won't be, he will be picking up like a half train load, and then he'll fill up here and top up so the next train that comes by is when I want to switch to 50/50. You just got to pick the right time to do it. Oh, this airport, how many passengers are waiting? We're down to 581. So that's a definite improvement because it was 1,000 with the 2 lines, and then the 2 lines combined into one, and it was like 7 or 800. And then here we don't have any passengers waiting anymore on the train line. The train line is doing brilliantly. Okay, so we'll just venture around here. Remind me, I've got to come back to the green. Uh, Truck filling, truck waiting. They used to come down here and, get stuck behind a bus every now and then that was picking up passengers. We just went past a bus stop, and then there's another bus stop down here. Not that there's many people waiting, and yes, this is a pink bus, everyone. Okay, after the Barbie bus incident, I decided to make some pink buses on the map. He just dropped off a couple of passengers. He's only got one passenger left on his rounds, but these trucks now run down this back street and they run straight into here. And I think I deleted a truck off the line when I did that. So that truck line seems to be working quite well. Well, oh, this one is the fuel going into the town. This one's only got like one truck on it. One truck. He just sits there and waits for, well, it's a medium fuel, but I don't have enough fuel to give them what they want. I can only deliver like 67 because there's not enough fuel on the map. Even with double production, there's two times production activated. So even with double production activated, he just drops his 52, that he can carry, and everyone's happy. These guys are delivering the crude. I don't expect that other truck to be making any money whatsoever. Are you guys making any money? Not really. You're losing a little. Well, we are on. Oh, well, again, on double maintenance, they struggle a little, and on normal maintenance, they're making a small profit. So yeah, it evens out in the long run. This train is picking up the oil. This is the Alsager crude and oil. I did change the tanks on this to the brown because I do like these better than the white tanks. Um, that was noisy there, wasn't it? I noticed the grain train going past me, which means this grain train. Now we've got an issue. Now we're going to have an overflow on this one if they don't start picking up from it. But I'm thinking a full load here and leave. Geez, you're not making much money, are you, mate? Well, you've been running around doing these half loads and not filling up and having to sit around and wait, right? Okay, so I have not said 50-50, okay? I've still got it set at 100. So that was the 100% pickup, but it really is about 50. And then when he comes over here, he's going to pick up 50% to fill up, and there's 350 there now. So that's built up while we've been unloading this one. So basically, Sims, you're going to have to wait for one more train. Okay, one more train. Um, then if we're waiting for one more train, let's check out these trucks over here. We got stacking on the crude. No, that's got really good timing on it. That's nice. Are they 52 of 52? Yes. So that's nice. Okay. Um, well, let's come back in the sneak peek here. We got trains. So, okay, so the crude is picking up here on the left. He's waiting. How much is he waiting for? Because remember, yeah, he's waiting for like 26. So as soon as he leaves, it opens up another platform for these trains. and that lets them run a lot smoother on this side of the line. I also told them, look, this station used to be chaos. It used to do a lot of things it was a little bit out of control, to be honest. But it's really well defined now. Like it is steel and plastics. It is coal and iron just dropped off. So the coal and iron is here. The steel and plastics is here. And then I've got the goods coming out of the goods factory, and this is steel and goods here. So these guys are going to pick up the goods, and so the goods need to come out of here, and so we stop here on the back run, and then the steel slash Conmats train that's on this line, it helps out with the steel. It's splitting the steel like some of this steel goes all the way down to Fordwich, and some of this steel goes to Alsager. This goes to the goods factory. This goes to the machine parts factory. So that's why we're splitting the steel here. And so they only stop on the back end, and see they can stack now coming down. And the oil drives straight through. So on the way down here, they tend to stack a little, as you can see. And that's why I want this extra platform opened up. Okay. Um, we can check out these trucks over here with the coal, and looks great. Filling up, one coming in. Oh, geez, that calendar's moving quick, isn't it? Did I have it on? Oh, what is that? That looks interesting, right? What is this truck? Is this in-game trucks, or is this some sort of modded truck pack? It's 2004. I don't know this truck pack. Is this in-game? I've never played this late, guys. So, oh, what is that? Uh, Jewel stocks. Rabdi. 8 wag. Oh, $100 million train, 200 kilometers an hour. Well, wow. Okay, this is a whole. Now, I do recall these. I remember putting these train packs in. 2014. Okay, 2000. Let me check that calendar. It feels like it's going quick. Oh no, that's this side. It's on half speed. Okay, all right. So trucks are running fine. These trucks are waiting for the steel, dropping off, picks up the oil, train stacking, as you can see. They stack here on the way down a little. I've mentioned that, right? Actually, what about my passenger trains? Okay, so that's the Fordwich to Staines is the all stations train. It stops at Alsager in one way and Auckland in the other. This one here is the express. That one there. Wow, we don't have a build up going to the airport. We have a huge build up of passengers that are not catching the plane anymore, and they want to catch this express train up north. Well, they used to catch a flight up to Woodham, but now a lot of the passengers have switched across to an express train to Hemsworth, which is, it's not that far. We go through Auckland, and we don't go into Staines. We come straight up into Hemsworth, and then they probably change trains for a Woodham. Hmm. But I'm thinking of putting an express train. So I have I have the all stations, the suburban train on this line here, and the express train on the left. I'm thinking of putting another express train through here that peels off to the right here and goes up to Woodham. Specifically for those people that are not catching they don't have a flight there anymore. Okay, maybe not this episode, but I want to go and look at those. What I'll do is I'll go and look at all of the electric trains and I'll report back to you next episode on what's a viable option here. Do I really want to go electric and replace these trains here? They're cruising. They're doing 200 clicks, 194. So, we've already got a 200 kilometer train. Its capacity is not very high, 124. Let me come back to you next episode on that. That's very interesting. Okay, so I have messed with here. Well, I had to mess with here a little bit for some options like we have down at Kendal. This train line also now shares with the fuel on this end, which was a little trickier than what you might think. But so we've got a crossover here so that they can get in and out of both. And then there's kind of a crossover here. So I was thinking of letting the fuel option to this left-hand side as well, but I don't really want to interfere with these little guys over here. He's bringing in, oh wow, these are still shunters. I haven't been back here for forever. And look at these guys. They're running really well. No build up of goods. No sitting around waiting all day. You're not very fast, are you? 31. You're making money, $1 million. Man, whoever made this line, yeah, they did really well. I like that line. Oh, I had to make a change over here. So what I realized was that I was not delivering. Oh, what is that I clicked on? Yeah, the train station. Oh, yeah, the train station, right? I had to put in this little road here because I noticed that the train station was connected, yes, to the truck stop and yes, to like a few factories on this side and these factories just at the top here, right? But no to the factories on this side and no to these factories here, which meant the train station was not delivering automatically to here. That wasn't linked. And my first truck stop was down here somewhere, there. That was my first truck stop. And look what it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit all of these factories here. And then I had a truck stop all the way down the end down here somewhere. Just here? No. Where's there? What? Or did I think I might have pushed it down further. It used to be up there. I think I moved it down. It used to be up here, and it was kind of missing this corner. So what I did was I put one here on the corner, right? So it now picks up the corner properly. And then this one here I push down. It doesn't need to pick up the corner. But look, it was missing. It was picking up some of them here, but it was missing here as well. So for a long time in the game, these factories were getting 0. The supply rating was 0. And now I have a supply rating of 100% on all of them because they're not even waiting for a truck to deliver anymore. With this road link here, it now comes through here and links from the train station directly to them. And a lot of these here, they're not requiring a delivery either. They're just getting a direct supply from the station, which means less goods have to come in here And then, so there's a stop here, and then there's a stop over on the back side, and then there's a stop in the middle of town here for for some goods, right? Yeah. And then this line here, it does wider and hits all the way out here for the food. And then it's the one that hits the corner here, also hits in the middle here somewhere. No, just two ends. Yeah, because they kind of overlap each other, right? See, like this one here goes all the way to this road here, right? And then this one here goes all the way past that road here. Yeah, so that's that's a fairly large distance between two truck stops, but they actually cross over on this road here. Yeah, and then he comes down here and delivers here. Well, there's an interesting view that you can look at for like how much goods are being transported. So that one I like to look at. Well, this one I like to clean stuff up. So you can see some gaps here. They were conmats all the way up here. And I think I deleted most of the conmats here, but they've respawned again. But that doesn't really matter that much if they're getting the goods. They weren't getting them in this corner, but the conmats can be delivered, you know, here and delivered to them. So the one that I really like is this one. So this one shows traffic, like how many goods and people and vehicles are on the road. So this is showing like one person owns a car here. Um, it does not. I have to actually pick the person to see who owns a car. But one of these houses just here owns a car, and so they drive. So it shows you that. Um, and then these are bus services and how many people are riding along on these. So it shows you how busy my train line is, my passenger trains. That tells you the numbers that are passing through here. So I don't mind looking at this one, but this one for my goods is quite important. It shows how much they're carrying. So if you've noticed, my truck routes for deliveries in the cities deliver to multiple goods to multiple places. I do not have a truck. So a lot of players will, if they've got say three drop-off points in this city for conmats, let's say, because you can't drop off to the conmats there. And by the way, you can see all bright yellow across there, and the lighter yellows are they're not getting all of their goods yet. So I can see one down here that might not actually be covered, and he does not have a supply rating. So there's that could be in between, like not being picked up by the rail station and not being picked up on this truck stop here, for example. So I can go in and look at individual buildings and see if they're getting supplied. For example, I didn't have really good coverage of the food over here, but it's starting to work because I put an extra truck stop right here, and now they're carrying 140 food out to there. They drop it off, and then, but look, they're only carrying 48 down this end, and then they drop off, and then they drop off 9 around the corner here. Now that's one truck line. They don't go out and drop and then come back and fill up and go out and drop to a second one and then come back and then drop to a third one. Um, so I've got a truck stop in the middle here that covers all of this area, and then I've got a truck stop up here and here and here, and that's the cycle, that circuit that they go around. Then with these guys, they drop over here, and then where the 73 becomes 67, that's a delivery point. So they just dropped off not many to there. What? 6. And that's just like picking up these guys over here. But they're already fully supplied, so they've just got to keep them topped up, a couple every now and then. And then what does he do? He drives right into the heart of the city and drops off. Right in the middle there. Look at that. Just in here. And then he drops off his last goods on this side. And he can pick up everything here. Like, sorry, he reaches everything here. But he can drop off food, goods, fuel, bread, machine part, everything. All 6 goods can be dropped off at this truck stop. So, it drops 41 here, but that's probably not one line either. No, it's one line, Sims. The one line is, what do we got here? Let's say show visible. You wouldn't be surprised that line's called Delivery Auckland All. It basically delivers all the goods except for probably fuel. And look, the fuel drops off one block down, 2 blocks down. Where have we got? Let's have a look. Well, that's fuel there. So the fuel drops just at the Kingsway here. That'll be the Kingsway. And when I select this, I can show, like, how much coverage does it have? Well, it's got coverage all the way through here, all the way to here. And then it's got coverage, well, not on this back road here, but all the way to the back road. All the way to the truck stop, basically. Yeah. So that's why that truck stop deals with the core. And that's on this side, right? I've got another one over on this side called, where is it? Where did you put it, Sims? It's on this side of the city. What did you do with it? Did you move it? Did you hide it? Oh yeah, you hid it behind a tree. Look at that. This one is called Main Street, and it does reach all the way over to the edge here. A little bit closer to the truck stop. A little bit closer to the corner. So it has like really good reach at that point, but it's not good enough. Like at the beginning of the game, when the city was small, yes, this was my Main Street drop-off point. As the game got on, I realized, well, I need a drop-off point here and here and here and here and what here, because this is all residential back here. And that's why I like this, because it shows me where I need to make my deliveries. I don't need to make any deliveries out there. Yeah, so I have gone into Auckland here and spent a little bit of time with it. Um, and I have done some work on this. So these fuel trains, one should be ready to go. Yep, you're full. You're topping up. Yeah, you're ready to go as well in a minute. This is the iron train heading back. And so you can see what happens here. The iron train heads out, back up. The full iron train, well, this platform is very busy. He wants to come through the middle here. But guess what? He doesn't, I don't want him to come through on this line. I want him to come through on this one and switch, right? Well, why are you doing that, Sims? Why don't you just make him come straight down that line? No, I've got another train on this line here. And that will be the Planks and the Comats line. And see, they split here. So I could have just had all of those trains running down a single line, and he would peel into here, and the iron would go straight through. But if for some reason this train has to stop, then he's blocking the line. Now he can stop there and he can park 400 meters along there and not block the other iron train. The iron train can come through and switch and go around him. And if the iron train is coming back, well, he has to stop along this line here. He doesn't have to wait for this train to leave and come in behind him. This is a passing lane for the iron train in particular, because this guy has his own lane to pull out. They will merge, again, 400 meters ahead. They merge here. Whoever gets here first gets right away. And then we've got our fuel. It's a crude train carrying crude up. And so we've got a 4-track line here for goods, all measured out nicely. These are 400 signals, by the way. We don't have half signals along here, I don't believe. Now we got some weird things happening here. I can switch him over to the outside line to come down if I wanted to, and he would have a whole nother option down the other end to stop at another platform. I did experiment with that, and that is an option. But these days, all that point there is might be used for a purchase train, maybe. Yeah, it's used for a purchase train that it can come in here and start the line there. And then up here, we have so we've got the iron train that is pulled in over on this side, and we've got a goods train in here, and this train is coming in from Hemsworth behind us, bringing goods in. So if we just peel back here, what you'll find is that this signal here is the decision-making signal. Where's the arrow? No arrow? Is that because... That's strange. Oh, we do that. No, still no arrow. It's very weird. This is a decision-making signal, but it's not showing me an arrow. Weird. Very weird. Yeah, anyway, so we got 4 platforms to choose from here. And this guy's got 2 platforms to choose from. And then these 2 are exclusively for this direction. These 2 are shared. But I would like to improve this, actually. I think I could improve, like, the nice thing here is you might have asked yourself, well, why did he go all the way over to the right-hand side when the left-hand side was available? Well, just as you saw there, the left-hand side isn't available when a train's coming out. When a train's coming out here, it jumps to the left-hand platform. The left-hand track. And when it comes out here, it jumps to the left-hand track, leaving this right-hand track open all the time. This one is always available. Anyway, I think that is the whole of the Southern Line. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. It was really just a review of how the lines down here are going. I hope I see you guys next week. You guys have a great week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.